Yellow. So, how do we achieve freedom? This is something a lot of us search for. We search for a way to be free. But is that even a premise that's possible? Well, if you look throughout Instagram or other platforms where you can just see how other people live, of course those are just highlights of their life. You're not really seeing the whole picture. Take like a fight, for example, right? A boxing match, an MMA fight. You can always find that one career-defining strike that, surfaced to the top of all that other work. Each and every punch that added up, each feint, each moment that was used to set up that one highlight. You essentially see the highlights of people's lives without seeing much of everything else. So you don't really have a gauge for how truly free that person is. But even then, consider that person does have everything. They have all the money, they have all the women, they have everything. Just imagine everything. Even then, is that person really free? They'll likely end up a slave to their desires. Take Dan Bilzerian, for example. I like to use this example because he needed to have a defibrillator pulled out to restart his heart because all the things he was doing to compensate for the fact that his intimate connections with women weren't meaningful anymore, he took it so far that he needed to substitute it with other substances, and as a result of that, his heart literally stopped from going to that extreme end. In a way, he's pursuing this compensation for a void to such an extent that he's become a servant to even that. It's all become so meaningless. Like the air he breathes, what one person would wish for their whole life, perhaps, not everyone, but what one person could wish for their entire life, this person treats it like oxygen. It doesn't even mean anything, and he needs to add more to compensate for that. In a way, is that person even free then? He's chasing this need to fill a void. Is there any true freedom in that? No. You're a servant in another way. So then, what is true freedom then? Where can we find freedom in this reality? When you begin to grasp everything I've put forward, you begin to get a feel for the paradox in play. The paradox is, the more you search for freedom, the more you will become a slave. Counterintuitively though, the more you seek to serve, the more you seek discipline, the more free you will feel. If you search for meaningful discipline, places you choose to be in and be disciplined to, work towards, serve in, ironically, that is when you will feel the most free. Whether you're in a coaching position, it's something you're very passionate about, whether it was your training, by choosing to commit to something, in turn, you found a way to express your soul through that medium. And through that very expression, that's where you felt the most alive. You felt the most free. Isn't that the weirdest thing to come to understand? The more you seek freedom, the more you desire freedom, the more you become a slave to those desires, the more you feel like a servant. It's a feedback loop. Whereas when you willfully discipline yourself, when you willfully commit yourself, when you willfully serve towards something you want to serve in, as time progresses through that narrative, you feel more and more free. That is the one choice we have, and that is where our freedom lies. The choice is what we wish to serve. Even if you're a king, at the very top, you are serving an entire kingdom from that pedestal, an entire group of people.
I haven't laid off any of my people. I'm trying to take care of all my people, including the fighters, keep them working, and, I'm doing everything in my power to do what I can do. How far are you going to let your business just collapse and your employees get laid off and make no money? None of that makes sense to me.
With that said, regardless of your position in life, where you are in life, who you are, what you do, it does not matter. If you choose to serve genuinely, to be disciplined from your heart, you are a man who's free. You are a man or woman who's achieved freedom. And it might not make sense at first, but I assure you, that's exactly how you will feel. It's the strangest thing. But this is something many of you already know. Discipline to your training. You know this to be true in your heart. Expressing yourself through something meaningful. Being consistent to it. Being pulled by it. And just doing, time and time again. Through that process, many of you have already felt it. You may have even felt it in a computer game, haven't you? Being disciplined to the game you were playing. You felt free in that world, even though you were consistently making actions, consistently making work, putting forward work in that world. That is where you are free. Where you choose to be disciplined too. Where you choose to serve. Where you choose to consistently express. That is where you are free. Until next time, peace.